Okay, look, I don't mean to keep harping on this. I mean, I was just over at Creamage's Discord server, and the guys there, they were all talking about how Captain Marvel's SJW propaganda can't go see that movie. And see, this subject is near and dear to my heart. You know why? Because I spend a lot of hours every day drawing female characters. That's my bread and butter. Sometimes I draw them all tough and badass. Sometimes I draw them all soft and cuddly. That's what I like to draw the most, and that's what people pay me to draw. I draw dudes too, sometimes, but no one's gonna pay good money for this when they could just as easily have this. You dig? The reason I keep going back to this subject is that all this weird whining about female characters, this is new. I don't remember this at any other point in my nerdly life. Growing up with Star Wars, never once did I hear someone complain when Princess Leia meets Luke, calls him short, and then totally shows him up by grabbing his own blaster from his hands and shooting the stormtroopers better than he could. Never once did I hear anyone say anything bad about that. I don't remember anyone complaining about Red Sonja. Red Sonja, who could literally go toe-to-toe with Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger in a fight? I don't remember anyone complaining about Aliens, saying that Ripley and Vasquez were too strong of female characters, that they got to be all tough and badass while some of the male characters are like, game over, man, game over. It didn't happen. When Terminator 2 was the biggest movie in the entire world, I don't remember anyone complaining about Sarah Connor, how she became this muscular, badass killing machine. And she wasn't even likable, in the ways that movie heroines usually are. She was impatient and unhinged. She was kind of a surly lunatic, but she was a good character and people understood why she was doing the things she did. There were no incels complaining about it. I don't remember anyone complaining about Lilu when The Fifth Element came out, the way she was way physically stronger than Bruce Willis and could kick everybody's ass. Nobody had a problem with that. Everyone just thought she looked really sexy in the bandages. When Lord of the Rings came out, I don't remember anyone complaining about Éowyn. And there's a whole prophecy in that universe that says that only a woman can defeat the Witch King. Literally, she can do something that no man can do. That's some feminism right there. I don't remember anyone complaining about Trinity and how she was better than Neo at most things. When Attack of the Clones came out, I don't remember anyone whining about Padme. The parts where she tells Anakin to sit the fuck down. And then when she's tied up in the arena on Geonosis with the two highly trained Jedi, she's the one who escapes first and saves them. Nobody complained about that. We complained about everything else about that movie, but not that. I don't remember anyone complaining about Beatrix Kiddo, how she's an attractive blonde woman who can just kill 88 guys. Well, there weren't actually 88. They just called themselves the Crazy 88 because it sounded cool. When you really look at it in its own twisted way, Kill Bill is one of the most feminist action movies I've ever seen. The female hero is fighting to reclaim her child from a living embodiment of the patriarchy. I don't remember anyone complaining about La Femme Nikita or Samantha Cain from The Long Kiss Goodnight. I don't remember any of these nerds complaining about Celine in Underworld, how she was this badass alpha female who was way stronger than the guy, the himbo, what's his name, Michael Werewolf guy. No one complained about that. No one complained about Alice in, the Resident Evil movies? I can't even remember those movies, but they made 6 of them where she just kicked ass over and over again. I don't remember anyone complaining that Hit Girl, who probably weighs 78 pounds, how she was way more deadly and competent than the main character. I don't remember anyone complaining about Keira Knightley in those Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And that character, you can actually make a case against her that she is way too competent and badass for being the spoiled daughter of some governor. But then again, it's a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Everything in them is ridiculous, so it doesn't really matter. So when did this happen? When I really think back on it, it all changed in 2015 with Imperator Furiosa from Fury Road. That guy, Aaron Clary, Captain Capitalism himself. He wrote that laughable article that got a lot of attention, complaining about how she's too strong and a hero like Mad Max would never take orders from a woman. That article was mocked around the world. For one thing, he made a lot of factual errors. He misidentified Mad Max as an American rather than an Australian, and he said that strong women didn't exist in the movies before then, which, dude, have you ever seen Thunderdome? Mad Max gets pushed around by badass bitches all the time. Seriously. I think that's what did it. Even though his article was made fun of, it still got attention. And attention is all anybody wants anymore. I think that's what began this endless cycle of complaining about female characters to get attention, and then the other side complains back, and it's just a bunch of noise. And it's been going on for 4 years, all the way up to Captain Marvel this week. I'm not even sure what these dorks are angry about. Are they angry because she has powers and she can beat up men? Or they're angry because Brie Larson said something like, white dudes aren't everything or something? I don't know. Whatever it is, it's stupid and it's meaningless. I was going to go see Captain Marvel, at some point. But now I bought a ticket and I'm seeing it on Friday, like opening night. Just because. But yeah, it was Aaron Clary. He's the guy who started all of this. Whatever else Captain Capitalism does in his life, he can look back and he can claim with some validity that he inspired an entire generation of young men to bitch about strong female characters when they just didn't before. And trust me, look, I didn't grow up in like a college town in Massachusetts with liberal parents. I grew up in fucking Tennessee, hanging out with people who are not liberals. But I swear to you, I swear to God, if we had been leaving a showing of The Fifth Element and someone was like,
I have a problem with the orange-haired girl. She was too strong. I was wrong. I don't like her.
We would have turned and looked at him and said, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Keep that to yourself. I don't want to stand next to you. You have like some kind of creepy issues with women. It's not good. So anyway, where was I? Yeah, Furiosa. That was the first one where the backlash began. The completely nonsensical, undeserved, ludicrous backlash that never should have happened. I mean, who are we here? What are we doing? We're nerds. We make up stories about people with superpowers who do crazy things. Some of those characters are going to be women. It's always been like that. So then, after Fury Road, the next big movie that came out was The Force Awakens with Rey, and she got the same treatment. A bunch of wieners online, they said, hey, I bet if I write a bunch of crap about how Rey is like too strong or a Mary Sue or something, I'll get some clicks. I'll get some clicks just like Aaron Clary. And that began the avalanche of stupidity. And then there was Wonder Woman, and now Captain Marvel. It's just been going on for about 4 years now when you think about it. And that's what bugs me about this bullshit, is that it's so recent. And to all the alt-right kids, I just want to let you guys in on a little secret. I wouldn't say I'm an expert on women, but I do know this. Nothing turns women off faster than this whiny cuck baby bullshit. You can try it out. Try an experiment. Next time you're talking to a girl, tell her that you couldn't see Captain Marvel because of what something Brie Larson said about white guys. Tell her,
those all-female screenings of Wonder Woman, those were technically illegal.
Tell her that, and you'll see in real time as she dries up and blows away like a tumbleweed on the prairie wind. I mean, ask yourself, what's the point of hating women and being a jerk to women if it doesn't even help you score? It makes you less likely to have a girlfriend. So what's the fucking point of it? Anyway, I got my ticket to Captain Marvel and I'm going to go see that movie tonight. When I get back, I'll report to you how the movie was and whether I liked it or not. Stay tuned. 1 minute. All right. So I went and saw Captain Marvel. Did I like it? Yes, I liked it a lot. I maybe even loved it. One thing I don't get is people who really go out of their way to aggressively rank the Marvel movies. The people who say, this one is good, but this one is trash. See, I don't get that. To me, the Marvel movies are so damned consistent that I just kind of like them all. The MCU is just one big old dumb delicious all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet, and I pretty much like all of it. Doctor Strange and Spider-Man Homecoming, those are maybe a little cut below. Black Panther and Infinity War, those are definitely a cut above. And I think for me, Captain Marvel is on the upper tier. I definitely liked it more than Thor Ragnarok and Captain America Civil War, and I'm ranking things, aren't I? You just can't help it if you're a nerd. I've been reading some of the reactions online, and I'm kind of amused by all the anti-feminist people who were trashing this movie but still went and saw it anyway. And they're saying things like,
Duh, I tried to give it a chance, but it's just not a very good movie, I'm sorry to say.
Haha, yeah, right. Well, no, I guess I can kind of see their point. If you're simply opposed to what a movie is trying to say in today's political environment, it's gonna be really hard for that movie to win you over just by the craft alone. Like, I guess for me, if they made like some kind of incel, anti-feminist troll action movie, something like,
Coming to theaters this summer, it's Alpha Dude, starring Beef Brickman as Alpha Dude Malone. He goes around slapping women on the ass whether they like it or not, and shooting poor black people just like movie heroes used to do. This summer, be triggered by Alpha Dude.
Yeah, if they made a movie like that, I would probably, wait a minute, I think I would actually really like that movie. Someone go ahead and make that. Okay, I need to think of a better example than that. Like one of those religious movies like God's Not Dead, Part 3, where Kirk Cameron goes on a mystical quest to realize that family is what's important and that Trump is saving America from the liberals. If I saw that movie, I would probably hate it, no matter how exquisitely crafted it was. It would have to contain elements so brilliant that I'd be forced to say, wow, I don't like the political intent of this film at all, but goddamn, it is just brilliant. I mean, that was one of the best chase scenes I've ever seen in any movie, and that surprise reveal in the third act, just breathtaking. So yeah, if you're some troll and you think that Captain Marvel is feminist propaganda, don't blame the movie because you don't like it. Blame your damn self.
Duh, this isn't even about the movie. This is about what Brie Larson said.
Oh yeah, the infamous Brie Larson quote. You know, if you actually go and read that thing in its entirety, it's completely innocuous. The only way something so mild could ever generate outrage is in an online ecosystem where there's a bunch of bored fuckfaces with no lives who are primed to look for it. No, really, if you took this Brie Larson quote and you went back to 1995 and put it in a Newsweek magazine and some neckbeard sitting at the dentist's office picked up the magazine and read it, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't. Nobody would. And see, this is the main point that I have about all this weird anti-feminist trolling. It's almost entirely self-generating. It's like a perpetual motion machine of stupidity. You see, human actions, nothing exists in a void. Almost everything we do on a given day is shaped by traditions and the actions of those around us. If you go into a Pentecostal church, you're going to see people speaking in tongues and falling down and doing all sorts of weird shit that they would never do by themselves. But they've seen other people do it and it's just expected. It makes sense in their little cultural context. Sports fans, they put on jerseys and makeup and get drunk and pick fights with other people for no reason. Nobody would just do that unless they had seen other people do it before. If you're walking into a gas station in the South, then you hold the door open for the person walking in behind you and they give you a little quick nod and say, "Thank you, sir." I don't know why, it's just, we just do it in the South. It's just expected. It's a Southern thing. And that's what I'm saying. Trolling is now a culture. There's a script. There's expectations. They go through the movements every time, and they're going to keep going through these movements whenever there's any movie that comes out that has a female lead character and any kind of progressive element. Nobody has seen a single frame of Star Wars Episode 9 yet, but you know what's going to happen when it comes out. Just like with Captain Marvel, there will be a ton of videos about how Episode 9 is going to flop before the movie comes out. The trolls, they don't even wait until the movie's out. They do it ahead of time. I read that some dipshit named Ethan Van Sciver has made dozens of hours of video about how Captain Marvel was going to flop. I mean, why wouldn't he? Those potential views are just sitting there. Someone's going to grab them. Why not him? At this point, it would be bizarre if it did not happen. It would be like a whole season of UK soccer with no hooliganism and no riots whatsoever. Like my man Ryan Johnson said on Twitter recently, having your movie hate-bombed online by a bunch of unwashed basement-dwelling trolls is basically a sure sign of quality. It's the sign that you're doing something right.
Duh, that's not true. If that were true, then we would have done the same thing for Alita Battle Angel. How come we didn't protest that movie, huh?
Oh, come on. Of course the trolls aren't gonna protest Alita Battle Angel. I mean, look at her. She's some cute little computer-generated little alien robot waifu. Her movie was made by James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez, two manly dudes. You see, this is the key. The incels and the trolls, they don't declare war on every movie with a female lead, just the ones that might actually appeal to women in some regard.
The Star Wars saga has always contained powerful and iconic female characters like Princess Leia. However, The Force Awakens will be the first Star Wars movie that is centered around a female protagonist. She'll be the first female hero in Star Wars to become a full-fledged Jedi and wield a lightsaber.
No! Bad!
Wonder Woman is going to be the first big-name comic book movie about a female superhero, unless you want to count Elektra and Catwoman, which nobody does. Women who've seen Wonder Woman report that they love the movie, and that it makes them feel particularly exhilarated. Some have left the movie with tears in their eyes, so overcome with the thrill of seeing a strong female superhero depicted so well on screen.
No! Bad!
See, those are the movies that you're going to protest. You're not going to protest Alita because you didn't hear a single woman say that they were totally looking forward to it. I mean, I don't know if it's a good movie or a bad movie. I haven't seen it yet, but there's no denying that it's an anime fantasy that appeals mostly to dudes. It's kind of the same thing with movies like Atomic Blonde, where Charlize Theron plays the sexy spy lady, or Red Sparrow, where Jennifer Lawrence plays, sexy spy lady. Red Sparrow, did that even exist? I can't remember. See, those movies don't really stick out because it's something that we've kind of seen before. Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel are just different enough to feel new. They're treading into the nerd boys territory, and of course, that's gonna cause problems.
Okay, now let's get down to the real nerd shit. Yeah, well, Captain Marvel sucks because it breaks the continuity of the established universe. If Nick Fury had the pager and could call Captain Marvel at any time, how come he didn't do it in Avengers 1 and 2, huh? That's a mistake and they messed it up.
Oh my god, are you kidding me with this shit? Maybe for the same reason why Tony didn't immediately call Captain America to help him fight the Mandarin in Iron Man 3? Wait, no, let's slow down and look at this. This criticism might have a tiny bit of validity to it. Let's rewind. Let's examine this. Why didn't Nick Fury summon Captain Marvel at the end of Avengers 1? I don't think it would have really made a lot of sense. I mean, he knows that she's really, really far away in some other galaxy. So once he pages her, it would take her weeks or maybe even months to get there. And the climaxes of both Avengers movies, they literally take place over the course of an afternoon, between lunch and dinner. Yeah, you have some weird aliens called the Chitauri invading New York City, and that's bad and all, but hey, you got the Avengers to stop them, and if that doesn't work, then you have nuclear weapons. If the Chitauri had won and, were spreading out all over the whole continental US and taking over multiple cities and no one was left to stop them, then we can assume that he would have summoned Captain Marvel as a last-ditch effort. Same thing in the Age of Ultron. It escalates really quickly. It goes from Tony Stark's android has gone rogue to, oh no, they're going to destroy a whole city. But again, it's wrapped up fairly quickly. When you have a ticking time bomb where some robot dickhead is going to crash a city into the Earth within the next hour, you can't wait months to call Captain Marvel from the other end of the galaxy. She just won't get there in time. Again, if Ultron had killed all the Avengers and his robots were spreading all over the Earth, then he would have summoned her. So why did he finally summon her at the end of the Infinity War? I can't exactly remember how much awareness Fury had of what was happening with Thanos and the Infinity Stones, but he probably knew that the situation was really, really bad. Seeing people collapse into dust all around you and having an inkling that it could be part of some sort of planet-wide event, that's really uncanny. That's creepy. That's really bad. That's way worse than just aliens taking over a city or a robot trying to crash a thing into the planet. It was something so obviously fucked up and bad that he's decided, okay, it's time to summon Captain Marvel finally. Does that work? Does that make you nerds happy?
Duh, I'm never happy.
It's crazy how these things all make sense when you think about them for more than 5 seconds. Anyway, that's all I got. Captain Marvel, pretty great movie. If I have the chance, I might even go back and see it a second time in the theater. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Every $1 million that this movie makes is like a finger in the eye of Ethan Van Sciver, whoever the fuck this guy is. What's he doing here?
I'll show them. I'll become a spaceman. Excelsior!